Hi guys, we'll be discussing quantitative ability section of mock 10, right? So for all the students of Apex, I would just like to tell you that for some of the batches, the topic of geometry is not yet completed, right? And for some of the, and for almost all the batches, algebra is also not completed. So what we will do is we'll be looking at the mock discussion, keeping those parameters in mind, right? And we'll also see that as I have always been focusing on the fact that your first target should always be to cover up all the questions of arithmetic, plus let's say all the questions coming up in the miscellaneous areas, right? So I think if I'm not wrong, and if I go through this complete paper, I guess an easy score of 27 to 30 was available in this mock. Let's see if we will be able to score that much or not, or we'll also see can could we have maximized that or not, right? So I'll also keep on specifying in each and every question which batches this topic has been over, and those batches will have to keep on adding those as a prospective questions that you'll have to solve in the paper altogether. So when I start this paper, the first question is very pleasing to my eyes because it starts with arithmetic. You see the question is talking about selling price and profit. So this comes under the concept of profit and loss. So the question says, if a dealer were to diminish the selling price of his wares by 12.5%, the minute 12.5 comes into my mind, 1 by 8 should come into my mind. Clear? So if I'm decreasing by 12.5%, I would take my selling price of each article as 8x. Okay. And if it's diminishing by 12.5, so 1 by 8 of 8 will be 1 less. So he's reducing it to 7x. He would double his sale, making the same profit as before. Now, double his sale, that means for sure I am including number of articles. Clear? Now, if you read the question, in what ratio should would his profit diminish if he were to increase his selling price by 12.5% and thereby halving his sale? So this becomes my master data. From here, when I'm selling at 7x, double the number of articles sold. And when I'm increasing it to 9x, clear? And I'm halving the number of articles. So what I would do is I would rather assume that total 2n articles were sold here. If 2n articles were sold here, when I'm selling at 7x, I'm doubling my number of articles, that becomes 4x. And when I'm selling at 9x, I'm looking at the number of articles as x. In what ratio his profit would diminish? That means I'm looking at the final value divided by the initial value. Let's see, what am I looking at here? So the question says that the profit remains the same. That means there is some cost price per article. So I repeat, I am taking selling price per article and I'm taking cost price per article as C, that remains constant. So what is the cost price per article? What is the cost? What is the profit that I'm making when I'm selling at this price? Okay. Now profit is selling price minus cost price into number of articles is 2, and this is equal to the profit made in this case, which is going to be 7x minus C into 4n. So if I equate these two, what do I get? N gets cancelled. So I have 28x minus 4c is equal to 16x minus 2c. So if I transpose my values, I get 2x, so 2c is equal to 12x, or I get the value of c is equal to 6x. Clear? If the value of c is equal to 6x, what is the profit that we are making? We're making a profit of 6x, 8x minus 6x is 2x, 2x into 2n, which is going to be uh, 2x into 2n will be 4xn, right? So the profit that I'm making here, initial profit is 4 into x into n. Clear? Right? Now, what is a diminished profit? Which means I'm looking at the reduced profit divided by the initial profit. So initial profit is 4 into x into n. Now, what has happened in this case? I'm making it 9x and I'm selling n articles, and I am the cost price remains the same. So therefore, here the profit becomes 9x minus c into n. So if I replace the value of c here, 9x minus 6x will be 3x and 3x into n. So here I'm making a profit of 3xn. So this is my reduced profit. In what ratio would the profit diminish? That means the reduced profit by initial profit. So my reduced profit is 3 into x into n, and my initial profit is 4 into x into n. Xn and xn gets cancelled. So therefore, in this case, my ratio finally becomes 3:4, and therefore it's going to be option B. Apart from the fact that you might have struggled a bit in the question statement, clear, at least this calculation should have been pretty clear. right? And once this calculation is clear, I think 3:4 is a very genuine answer that you can always look at. So this question does not sound to be a very difficult question. But as a start of the paper, I think 3 marks should have definitely been there in your pocket immediately in the first 2 to 3 minutes of the paper, right? Now let's look at the second question. Now this question says 9 marbles are distributed amongst A, B, and C such that the number of marbles received by C is one more than the number of marbles received by B. And the number of marbles received by A is one less than the number of marbles received by B. So if I just go ahead and start approaching this question, now A is one less than B and C is one more than B. And I know that I'm distributing a total of 9 marbles. So this plus this is equal to 9. So we get 3x is equal to 9 or the value of x is equal to 3. So I know that this is 2, 3, and 4 marbles are there. Clear? Now, after that, 24 marbles were distributed amongst A, B, and C. Now, what is the maximum value of the product? Now, you need to keep in mind, guys, whenever the word maximum minimum comes, this is a topic in algebra which involves maximum minimum. Right? So I'm just explaining you for your understanding. Now, whenever a maximum minima is generally taken into consideration, we apply a simple concept that arithmetic mean of n articles is greater than or equal to the geometric mean of those many articles. Right. Now, what is the question talking about? 24 marbles were distributed. I do not know how much did A, B, and C receive. Let's say A received A marbles, B received B marbles, and C received C marbles. So I know one more thing from here that A plus B plus C is equal to 24 is what is given to us. Okay. Now, since the question is asking you product, right? So that should maximum value and a product that should give me a hint towards AM greater than or equal to GM, because this kind of question has appeared in last year's examination. And that is why you see these kind of questions repeating in your mock examinations as well. So how do I solve this? So arithmetic mean of 3 terms is nothing but average of 3 terms. That is 2 plus A plus 3 plus B plus 4 plus C divided by 3 is greater than or equal to, geometric mean is the nth root, since there are 3 articles, cube root of the product of 3 articles, that is 2 plus A into 3 plus B into 4 plus C. Right. Now, if I simplify this, this becomes 9 plus A plus B plus C divided by 3. And we know that A plus B plus C is nothing but 24. Clear? So 9 plus 24 will give you 33. So we get 11 is greater than or equal to cube root of 2 plus A into 3 plus B into 4 plus C, right? So, or in short, the desired answer, that is 2 plus A into 3 plus B into 4 plus C will be less than or equal to 11 cube. So therefore, in this case, the maximum value that it can take is 11 cube. And therefore, the maximum value of the product of the number of articles with them is going to be 11 cubes. So I'm not counting this as the question that you would have solved, but since if you see the words called maximum minimum, it's a very simple concept. We will learn this chapter in algebra also. Just explained you for your understanding. If you're able to pick up and replicate in the next mocks, you can always do it. Maximum minimum has only one single funda called AM, which is greater than or equal to geometric mean, right? So not considering this question, but the minute you see maximum value, your job should have been is to ignore this question and right away move forward. So you should have done till this. When you see the word maximum, you should have ignored this question and you should have moved forward. So max of 1 minute would have lost, but no problem. But it's very important for you to quit this question immediately. Okay. So not considering as your prospective answer. Now, this question can be debatable. Is this solvable in the examination? Now, one very beautiful part that you need to understand in CAT is you are given access to calculator, and in that calculator, you will be given a scientific calculator. So one very easy method of looking at this question is we just calculate the value of root 3 divided by 2 and we take it as an approximate value. So we will learn this question. This topic comes under the topic of indices inserts. We will learn that sometime later. Clear? But if I'm looking at solving this question here, right? So if I go ahead with root 3, square root of 3 divided by 2, okay? So the value here, square root of 3 divided by 2 gives me 0.866. So I can take it as 0.87. And all you could have done is you could have replaced this in the main question and you should have solved it and you should have got the answer as option D here. Clear? So my advice would be simple. If this is a question that comes where the numbers are lovely or where you can use calculator, it was a sitter. I don't think so. Anybody should have left this question. These 3 marks should have been grabbed, right? However, How do we handle indices and certs? We will discuss that in the class of indices and certs. Do not worry about that. Right. So for the time being, I would say you should have used calculator. You should have got these 3 marks and you should have moved forward. Right. Now, when I move forward to the next question, this was again a sitter. A chemical tank has a capacity of 2000 liters. I'm already given. Connected to pipes A, B, and tap C, where A and B are filling taps. They are filling 40 and 50 liters per hour. C is emptying at 5 liters per hour. Right. Initially, taps A and B are open, and tap C is opened after 8.5 minutes. In how much time the tap will be filled completely, which means I want to fill 2000 liters. Right. It's in fact a simplified question of time and work. So for 8.5 hours, tap A and B were working. Clear? Now I do not know for how many hours was tap C along with A and B working. Now tap A, B, and C, the efficiency of A plus B plus C is equal to 85. So X into 85. And this should be a total of 2000 liters. Clear? So 90 into 8 is 720 and 90 into 0.5 is 45. So 720, this gives me 765 plus 85x is equal to 2000. Or I have 85x is equal to 2000 minus 765. So 2000 minus 700 is 1300. Clear? And 1300 minus 65 will give me 1235. Clear? Or the value of x here becomes 1235 divided by 70. Now do not forget our answer here is going to be x plus 8.5. Now do I need calculator? You can use calculator also. Sorry, this is divided by 85. You can use calculator also, but I don't think so I need calculator. Let's divide both of them by 5. So 5 2s are 10, you have 5 4s are 20, and 5 7s are 35, and this is 5 17s. Now 17 ones are 17, you have 77. 17 4s are is 68. Clear? And we have a 90. And then I go with 17 5s are 85, we have a 50. So approximately 14.53 is the value of 247 by 17. And our answer is 14.53 plus 8.53. Now 14 plus 8 is 22, and this is slightly more than 23. And the best part is options are making your job easy. So there's only one option which is slightly more than 23, and therefore this is going to be your answer. So another 3 marks, irrespective of any batch you are in. According to me, by now you should have easily captured 9 marks in this paper. Out of first 4, 3 were easily doable. Right? Let's move to the next one. Now, this was a very interesting question, guys. Why is it an interesting question? Because this is one of the old CAT questions. Okay. Now, there are two simple approaches to this question here. Now, what is the beautiful part of this CAT question? We always discuss this as a shortcut for CAT examination. Now, understand A into B is equal to 2499. Now, product of two numbers is an odd number. So, by default, the A should be odd and B also should be odd. Okay, I'll come back to the actual method later. Similarly, I have C into D is equal to 8099, which is also odd, which means C is also odd and D is also odd. And now the question is asking you find the value of A plus D. So if I'm looking at the value of A plus D, I'm looking at A is an odd number and D is also an odd number. So odd number plus odd number will give you what, guys? Odd number plus odd number will always give you an even number. Clear? And the best part is options. Among the options, you see this is an odd number, not possible. This is an odd number, not possible. This is an odd number, not possible. So A plus D will take only one value, which is 138. Now you might always ask, sir, how do we know whether this is a question which is applying odd and even? But yeah, since it is an old CAT question, henceforth, when you see a question of this kind, your job is to start understanding that the first point can be I can eliminate the options by using odd and even concept. Now, what is the actual method? Since A and B are two integers, let's try to factorize 2499. So 2499 is 3 into 3 8s are 833. Clear? Then I go with 3 into 7 into 7 ones are 7, 13. Again, 7 ones are 7, that is 119. Clear? And then again, I go with 3 into 7 into 7, and 7 into 1s are 7 and 17. So A and B can take any of the values which are corresponding to these, because A and B are positive integers. It can be 3 into this number. It can be 21 into 119, and so on, so on, so on. Let's not use this as of now. Okay. Now when I go with C into D, we can look at this as again multiplied by 7. So this is 7 into 1s are 7. Then you have a 10. 7 1s are 7. You have a 39. 7 5s are 35. You have a 49. And 7 7s are 49. Okay. Now 1157 is also divisible by 13 if you check. Now 13 into 8 is 104, which is again 117 left, and 13 into 9 is 117. So C into D can take any of 7 into 13 into 18. And I repeat, 89 is a prime number. That's why I stopped there. Now I want the value of A plus D. Now let's try to go by options. That's the best part, to go by options. Okay. So if I take the best possible combination of C and D can be is one number can be 91 and slash the other number can be 89. Clear, right? So if I go ahead with this concept, because see, all the values are close to 140 or something, so it doesn't make sense, because understand what are the numbers that C can take. C can be 7 into 13. First, C can be only 7. If C is only 7, then D is equal to 13 into 89. Doesn't make sense because it's going 800 something. Okay. Similarly, C can be 7 into 13, and that therefore D will be 89. Or C can be 7 into 89 and D can be 13. Again, 7 into 89 is 500 something something. So let's not get into this. So this is also ruled out. This is also ruled out. And final value I can take of C is going to be, so C we took it as 7, and with 7 combination we have taken everything. Now C can be 13, which means D will be 7 into 89. So this is a combination which I'm already taking here. Clear? Or C can be 13 into 8. So one more combination is 13 into 89 and 7. So these are the only combinations that C slash D can take. Now, looking at my options, I would freeze that this can be a possible option. Anything can be possible, either C or D. Now, if C is equal to 91, now that should again give you a hint that all of them are odd numbers. Similarly, you can look at this as well, right? So if you look at 89, and if you take a smart game here, 7 sevens are 49. So can I say 89 plus 49 is equal to 138? Right? And that is there in one of the options. Clear? And therefore, this becomes, so this becomes 3 into 17 is 51 slash 49. So we can also eliminate on the same lines. So make it a two-digit numbers, try to add them. So 89 plus 49 will give you 138. Now, this is a mathematical procedure of trial and error to go ahead. Right? But either of the cases, I don't think so. You should have left this question. So another 3 marks you should have definitely added because of the word positive integers given in the question altogether. Clear? Now, this question, irrespective of any batch, because geometry has been introduced to all the batches. Okay. So irrespective of any batch, I would say that, you should have definitely given a shot to these questions. And let's try to understand how do we go ahead and solve this question. So this question says that there are 3 circles with radius 15 centimeters. Now you need to understand that this complete part is equal to 15. Right? Sorry, till E. So what is 15? So from here till this part is equal to 15. So if I'm told that DE is equal to 5, if DE is equal to 5, then this part becomes equal to 10 because this is equal to 15. Similarly, BD is the radius and BD is equal to BE plus ED. And we are told that ED is 5. That means BE will also be equal to 10. That means the side AB of the triangle would here become 25 centimeters long. Right. Now, similarly, I start looking at this as this is my radius. A to H is my radius for this part of the circle. And I'm told that HI is equal to 8. If HI is equal to 8, that means this part becomes 7 because 8 plus 7 is 15. Similarly, if you observe, CI is the radius for this part of the circle. Again, if this is also 15 and this is 8, so this part becomes 7. So I can say that the side AC will be 7 plus 7, that is 14, and 14 plus 8 will give me 22. Again, on these lines, so BG is the radius from this part of the circle. FG given to me is 6, so this part becomes 9. Similarly, CF is the radius, and this is also equal to 9. So 9 plus 9 is equal to 18, and 18 plus 6 is equal to 24. Clear? So these are the 3 different sides of the triangle, and the question asking the perimeter of the triangle, that is 23 are 60, 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. 60 plus 11 is equal to 71. So option D becomes my correct answer. And I would say you should have given a thought to this question. And this is also one more question that you should have definitely solved in the examination, right? But the batches where circles has not been over, and if you have left this question thinking it's coming under circles chapter, it's okay, not to be worried about it. But batches 1, 2, 3, 4, weekend, right? So you should have definitely converted this question and you should have got this answer for sure. Clear? So 3 more marks to be grabbed. Next, for the batches which where the mensuration part is also completed, let's look at this. From a rectangular sheet, Mary cuts out a square piece of the largest possible size. So if this is my rectangle, the maximum possible square I can take out is this part. Suppose if this is x, then this part is also x, this part is also x, and this part is also x. And I'm taking this part as y. Okay. So the remaining portion of the figure, this part, if this complete part is equal to y and this part is x, this is x minus y. This will also be x minus y, and this will be x. So I'm taking width as x and the length as y. The breadth and width of the remaining portion. Clear? That becomes x by x minus y. It's same as the length and width of the original sheet. The length of the original sheet is y and the width of the original sheet is x. Now, if you understand this much, you should have got 3 marks here, because when I cross multiply, I get x square is equal to xy minus y square, or we have x square minus xy plus y square is equal to 0. So I can see this is a quadratic equation in x, where a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus y, and c is equal to y square. And now we can apply the roots of a quadratic equation, that is minus b, that is minus of minus y, plus or minus b square minus 4 into a into c. Clear? Right? So that will give you how much, guys? Minus 4 into 1 into y square. This is a minus of minus this here. Clear? B square minus 4ac, which will give me how much, guys? Square root over divided by 2a. 2a, and the value of a is equal to 1 here. Clear? So eventually what do we get from here? So we get a positive y. This is y square plus 4y square, which will give me 5y square. 5y square will give me 5 root y divided by 2. If I take the value of y common, then what do you get here? So y into 1 plus root 5 by 2. And we want the ratio of length and width of the original sheet. So once you apply this, you get the answer as root 5 plus 1 is 2. So the sections where mensuration has not been completed, no problem. But the batches where mensuration has been completed was not a difficult question. You should have definitely got 3 marks here, and you should have grabbed your 3 marks. So you see the question has given you a lot of scoring options, right? So for batches like 1, 2, 4 and weekend, if I look at it, so 3 marks, ignore, 3 marks, 6, 9, 12 plus 3 becomes 15, and 15 plus 3 becomes 18. So for batches 1, 2, 4 and weekend, where geometry and mensuration has always also already been completed, till this question 18 marks, and this question should have further given you 3 more marks, because a very simple question. A string is wound around the 4 walls of a cube, right? So if you open the cube and you understand the string, so CD will be the length of the string, and each side is n, 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 n. And this side will also be equal to n. So the length of the string is nothing but hypotenuse. That is going to be 4n square plus n square whole root over. And your answer in this case becomes root over of 17n should be the length of the string. It's a very simple question. In fact, you should not be surprised, because this question was also discussed in the class. And so again, a standard CAT question. So you should have definitely converted it. Batches 1, 2, 4 and weekend, 18 plus 3, 21 marks. Clear? Other batches where mensuration and geometry has not been completed, how many marks are we looking at? So we are looking at 3 marks here. 3 marks here. That is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9, and 9 plus 3 is 12. Clear? So 12 and 21. I'm just writing it here. For batches 1, 2, 4 weekend. By now, you should have scored 21 marks. And for other batches, we are looking at 12 marks. Now, in this question, am I adding this? Let's see. Nalini participated in a game of coins. Find the coins in which a person had to find the maximum possible colored red, blue, and green from a sand in 1 minute. Okay. So Nalini found 3 red coins. Let's say 3R, 7 blue coins, and 1 green coin, which is equal to 240. Whereas Shantanu got 4R plus 10 blue plus 1 green is equal to 329. And we want the value of R plus B plus G. Remember, we had seen this concept in simple equations class where you are given 2 3-variable questions and you're asked a value of one more equation only. Clear? When I add both of them, nothing comes common. When I subtract both of them, nothing comes common. So what is the funda that we had seen? We are multiplying this with A, we are multiplying this with B, and we want 1. So the basic method says 3A plus 4B should be equal to 1. Similarly, 7A, this part, 7A plus 10B should also be equal to 1. So if I solve these two, I'm multiplying the first equation with 5 and I'm multiplying my second equation with 2. So 5 3s are 15. So you get the value of A is equal to 3. If A is equal to 3, 3 3s are 9 plus 4B is equal to 1, or we have 4B is equal to minus 8, or B is equal to minus 2. That means multiply the first equation with 3, multiply the second equation with minus 2, add both of them. That should be your answer. So 3 3s are 9 minus 8 will give you 1. 3 7s are 21 minus 20 will give you 1. 3 1s are 3 minus 2 will give you 1. So your final answer is going to be 3 into 240. 3 into 24 is how much, guys? 720. And 2 into 300 is 650 H. So you get 2 here, you get 62 here. Therefore, the value of 1R plus 1B plus 1G is equal to 62. And that should be your answer. We had seen this in the first chapter of our course, as model like this. You should not have missed it. 3 marks here and 3 marks here. So by now we are at 24/15. Clear, guys? The questions which we have seen so far, right? So now let me write it again here. Batches 1, 2, 4 weekend. How many marks so far? 24. And other batches, we are looking at 15 as a score. Now, in all the mock discussions, I have also advised one simple funda that please go and check the basic properties of logarithms. Now, this question should not have been left. There's one more logs question, which we will leave it. But this question should not have been left because when the base is same and I'm calculating the sum, plus you have log 2 to the power 2 cube base 3 plus log 2 to the power 9 base 3 plus log 2 to the power 27 base 3 plus log 2 to the power 81 base 3. When I'm adding them, that becomes what, guys? I take a log 3 base 3 common. The terms will get multiplied. 2 to the power 1 into 2 cube into 2 to the power 9 into 2 to the power 27 into 2 to the power 81. Now we apply a to the power m plus a to the power n. So this becomes log base 3, 1 plus 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81. So 3 plus 27 is 30, 1 plus 9 is 10, 30 plus 10 is 40, 40 plus 81 is 121. So you have log base 3, 2 to the power 121 should have been your answer. And this is option number C. So if you have seen basic properties of log, 3 marks in your account, guys. But in case you have not seen it, then you can't grab these 3 marks. So according to me, 3 marks should have been there because we are going at seriously towards CAT. If not, please go back and check. According to me, prospective score is 27 here and prospective score is 18 here. Clear, guys? Mods, we have not seen in any of the batches. We can leave as of now. But yeah, people who know mod is a very easy question, okay? Now, this was again a lovely question. So I'm looking at 27/18 as a possible score. This 3 should have been added. Why this should have been added? We'll discuss that. Okay, 30/21 should have been the score. Now it says 3 identical containers A, B, and C are filled completely with milk. B is completely with milk. C is partially filled with milk, and A is completely empty. So A has 0 liters. Let's say B has B liters of milk, and C has C liters of milk, and there is some empty space also. Okay. Now there are two measures, X and Y. X can hold 1/3, Y can hold 1/3 of X. Clear? So 3 of Y is equal to X. Now one operation is said to be executed when the milk from B is transferred to A, transferring X, then from A to C transferring Y. After 70 such operations, the level in 3 containers is equal. Okay. And therefore, if the capacity of Y is equal to 1/5 liters, so we'll use that. Okay. So if Y is equal to 1/5, so I am using 200 ml as a value of Y. So value of X becomes how much? 600 ml. But let's try to understand what is happening. In the first operation, I'm subtracting X, I am adding X. And next, I am removing Y from here and I am adding Y from here. After one such operation, what does A have? A has 0 plus X minus Y. Clear? Right? Now, this is done in every operation. A has 0 plus in each operation, this is X minus Y. Every operation, that is what will repeat. So 70 operations, A will finally have 70 into X minus Y. Okay. Now, what does B has? B has the quantity B, right? Now, there's a minus X. So X liters is drawn out every operation. So 70 such operations. So minus 70X. And what is the quantity that C has? C has C plus Y. Now, in every operation, we are adding Y liters to C. So 70 operations, we will add 70 of such Y. Clear? Now, the question says, we know the values of X and Y, by the way. Now, the question says they will have equal levels. Okay. Now, so X minus Y is 400 ml. 70 into 400 ml is 28,000 ml, which is equal to 28 liters plus 0. So can I say after 70 such operations, A will have 28. If A will have 28, after 70 such operations, B will also have 28. And after 70 such operations, C will also have 28. Clear? That's your answer. Now, what is the total volume in all the 3 containers? So total volume of milk. So total volume of milk is 28 plus 28 plus 28. There's no water anywhere. So total volume of milk is going to be 28 into 3. And 28 into 3 will give you 84. So you should have got this question. Easy question, not at all difficult. So you should have definitely tried and converted this question. Clear, guys? Let's look at one more. Now, people who know quadratic equations, you should have grabbed this with both the hands because all we are using is sum of the roots and product of the roots. So if alpha and beta are the roots, I know that alpha plus beta in a quadratic equation is minus b by a. That is going to be minus 3 by 4. And alpha into beta will be equal to c by a. That is equal to 7 by 4. Now, if you look at it this way, this can be written as alpha beta whole cube divided by the numerator will be alpha cube plus beta cube. Now, alpha cube plus beta cube is nothing but alpha plus beta whole cube minus 3 alpha beta into alpha plus beta divided by alpha beta whole cube. So people who know quadratic, you replace this here, you should have definitely got this answer. So I'm not counting it because we have not seen this chapter for all the batches, but yes, irrespective of this question, 30,21, people who know quadratic, they should have been 33 here, right? So be a little, strict with yourself that these are the prospective scores that you should have definitely converted. Clear? Now, Venn diagrams has been covered to almost all the batches. Now, in a group of 535, at least 40 people like Bollywood. So, number of people who like Bollywood will be greater than or equal to 40%. At least 60% like Hollywood. So, number of people who like Hollywood is greater than or equal to 60%. And exactly 80% of the people liked Bollywood or this. So, a B union H is equal to 80%. Now, I want to maximize both. So since A union B, that means this plus this is equal to 80%. Okay. And if I want to maximize, you can see that n of B is greater than or equal to 40. Let me take 80% as the value of n of B very smartly. And let me take 80% as the value of n of h smartly. And I'm assuming that all these 80% like both. This is 0, this is 0. And we are satisfying the condition that A union B is also equal to 80%. Clear? If that is being held, this is the maximum possible value. So our answer is going to be 80% of 535. 80% is 4 by 5 of 535. That is going to be 5 into 107. Clear? So 4 sevens are 28 and 4 ones are 4. So your answer in this case becomes 428. Clear? So 30/21. Batches 1 to 4 weekend. Venn diagrams has been done. So add 3 more. This becomes 33. And other batches where Venn diagrams has been done, your score should have been 21 plus 3, that is 24. And if Venn diagrams is not done, then your score should have been 21. Clear? Depending on the kind of course which has been completed, we are analyzing or assessing our paper. Clear? Now, this is a slightly applied level of more log. It's an easy question, but you can ignore as of now because we have not seen a question of log so far. So I'm ignoring this. This is again a question which comes under series concept. In series, we will be discussing this question as a part of arithmetic progression and geometric progression. I'm leaving it as of now. So the score still holds to be 33. Batches where Venn diagrams is over 24 and batches where Venn diagrams is not over 21. Clear? Coordinate geometry we have not seen. Let's again keep this on hold. Now this is a question which comes under no man's land, guys. Okay, let's try to understand what is this question talking about. So according to me, you should have done this 3 here. Batches where Venn diagrams is over, you should have got this. And batches where Venn diagram is not over, you should have also got this. So prospective score for all of you should have been 36, 27, and 24. Okay. Now 12 towns are grouped into 4 zones with 3 towns per zone. So let's say zone 1, you have town 1, you have town 2, you have town 3. Okay. Then you have zone 2, let's say town 4, town 5, and town 6. Then you have zone 3, town 7, town 8, town 9. And then we have zone 4, town 10, town 11, and town 12. Okay. It is intended that to connect the towns with telephone lines, such that every 2 towns are connected with 3 direct telephone lines, every 2. So here, if you observe, T1/T2 will be connected with 3. Similarly, T1/T3 will be connected with 3. And T2/T3 will also be connected with 3. So within that zone, each of them have 9. So here also within the zone, they will have 9. Here also within the zone, they will have 9. And here also within the zone, they will have 9. That means 9 fours are, we have a total of 36 lines available. Clear? Now it says that if not, there is only one direct line otherwise. Now let's look at this way, guys. That means if they're not in the same zone. Now T1 has how many people in the other zones? You can see T1 has 9 people from zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. So T1 will further have 9 direct lines. T2 will also have 9 direct lines. T3 will also have 9 direct lines. Okay. Now T1 and T4 is already done. So the best part is from T4, I can say that in other zones, I'm going to zone 3 and zone 4. So T4 will be going with, because T4 and T1 is done, T4 and T2 is done, T4 and T3 is also done. So I'm going to the zone 3. So T4 will have how many? 6. T5 will have 6. T6 will have 6. Clear? So I repeat, when I'm writing T1, or let's write it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If you do not want to get confused, the best way is you can make this as a grid. And then this also becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If you make this grid, your job is pretty easily done, guys. Okay. So let's look at this. T1 and 1 will not have anything. Clear? 1 and 2 will have how many direct lines? 1 and 2 will have 3 direct lines. 1 and 3 will have how many direct lines? 1 and 3 will have 3 direct lines. 1 and 4 will have 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, and 9, 1. Similarly, 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 are already considered. Clear? So 2 and 2 is not considered. Now 2 and 3 will have 3 lines. 2, 4 will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whatever I'm distributing on the top, I will be cancelling. So 3 and 1 is already done. 3, 2 is already done, and 3, 3 is also already done. So 3, 3 will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clear? And this will go until 12. I'm sorry, guys. I wrote only till 12. This will go until 9, and this will go until 12. Okay. So if this way, if you start filling up, then your job becomes pretty easy. Let's say this is 10, 11, and 12. And here also we'll have them. Don't worry. So either you go with a grid here, then your job becomes pretty easy, or you can calculate it this way. Your job also becomes pretty easy. Now T7 will have only 3 people outside the zone. So T7 will have 3 lines, T8 will have 3 lines, and T9 will have 3 lines. Clear? So you have 36. Then 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27. 6 plus 6 plus 6 will be 18. And 3 plus 3 plus 3 will be again 9. So 27 plus 27 is 54. 54 plus 36, your answer in this case becomes 90. If you want, you can also do this. Very simple ones, okay? 1, 1, 1. Now 4 and 1 will have one direct line. I've already counted. 4 and 2 will have one direct line. I've already counted. 4 and 3 already counted. 4 and 4 will not have. 4, 5, 4, 6 will be 3, 3, and then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Similarly, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5 not considered, 5, 6, then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Similarly, 6 will be going ahead till 6, 6 because already they are counted. Now 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So you can see T6 is 6. Now 7, I'll continue cancelling till 7. 7, 8 will be 3, 7, 9 will be 3, then 7 will have 1, 1, 1. 8 will continue cancelling till 8. 8, 9 will have 3 and then 1, 1, 1. 9 will be continue cancelling till 9. Clear? And then 9 will have 1, 1, 1. Now only 10, 11, and 12 will have among themselves only. That should be your logic. So 10 will be cancelling with all till 10. 10 will have 3 here, 3 here. 11 will have 3 here. Rest all have already been counted. So if you want to go by the grid concept, this also becomes an easier concept. But yeah, if you go by a calculation concept, this comes under just a calculation technique wala game. And that should give you 90 total lines as your final answer. So yes, I think you should have definitely converted this. So a prospective thing should have been 36, 27, and 24. Okay, 27 with Venn diagrams, 24 without Venn diagrams, 36 with Venn diagrams and mensuration as well. Clear? Now, this is again a beautiful question. In a particular class, each student has either blonde hair or brown eyes. 1/4 of the students have blonde hair and 1/3 of the students have brown eyes. So I'll take the total number of students as 12x. Clear? Right? Now, 1/4 of the students have blonde hair. 1/4 means 3x students have blonde hair. And oh, sorry, 1/4 of the students with blonde hair have brown eyes. Similarly, 1/3 of the students with brown eyes have blonde hair. Okay, so this is what the question says. 1 second, guys. 1/4 of the students with blonde hair. Let me assume that blonde hair has x total number of students, or let's take 4x total number of students, and brown eyes. Okay, this is blonde hair is equal to 4x, and let's say brown eyes is equal to 3y. Now, 1/4 of the students, that means X people, have blonde hair and blue eyes. Similarly, here, What do we have? Why people will have blonde hair and blue eyes? And I'm talking about the same class. If I'm talking about the same class, can I say the number of people who are having blonde hair and brown eyes should be same? So x is equal to y. If x is equal to y, then I can make a simple Venn diagram that you have 4x here and you have 3x here, right? Common people are x. So this will be 3x and this will be 2x, which means total number of people in the class are going to be how much, guys? 6x. Clear? Now the question is saying what fraction of the class in total has brown eyes. Now brown eyes has how much? Brown eyes has 3x people have brown eyes. So therefore the answer here becomes 3x by 6x and therefore your answer here becomes 1 by 2. Clear? So very easy question of Venn diagrams. The only thing that might trouble you is since I have intersection part, you might miss out on this, but otherwise you should have got this answer correct. So the tally here becomes 39, 30 and 24 with Venn diagrams and without Venn diagrams. Okay. Now, area enclosed by mod, if you know this topic, it's a very easy question. It's a simple graph. If you have mod x plus mod y as 4, then this becomes your triangle 4, 0 and 0, 4. This is 4 and this is 4. Then you'll have this as a triangle, which is minus 4 and 4. And then you'll have this as a triangle. So if you look at it, your answer here becomes half into 4 is each quadrant into 4 such triangles. Clear? So this becomes 64 by 4 and therefore your answer here becomes 32. So if you know graphs, it's a very easy, it's a very basic question of graphs. So you should have definitely converted this. Clear? Now, people who have done triangles or circles, is a very easy question. A square is inscribed in a circle. So in a circle, if I inscribe a square, then please understand that the diameter of the circle is equal to the diagonal of the square. Clear? And the circle is inscribed in a equilateral triangle. So if you want me to draw this diagram, so there's an equilateral triangle. Inside that, a circle is drawn. And inside the circle, a square is drawn. Right? The side of the equilateral triangle is A. I want the side of the square. Now understand that 2R is equal to side of the square. Sorry, 2R is equal to, if the side of the square is equal to S, okay? Side of the square is equal to S. Now 2R is equal to root 2 into A because the diameter of the circle is equal to the diagonal of the square. Okay, 2 root 2 into S. Okay, now the in radius, because the circle is inscribed, the in radius of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 2 into A is the median, that is the height, and that's the lower part. So if it's an equilateral triangle, this is my height, median and all, and this is my centroid. So this becomes my in radius. That is the centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2 is to 1. So 1 by 3 of this is equal to the value of R. Clear? That is the radius of the in circle. Now this radius of in circle, clear? Or I can say R is equal to root 2S by 2. Now this in radius is equal to root 2S divided by 2. So this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled. Clear? Eventually we have what? Root 3A divided by 3 into root 2 is equal to S. Now the question is asking me area of the square, so I have to square this up. So root 3A will give me 3A square. Denominator will give me 9 into 2. So 3 ones are 3 twos are. So therefore this becomes A square by 6 should be your answer. And therefore this becomes your answer. Okay guys, so geometry since it has been started for all of you, I think this again becomes an easy question to look at in geometry, right? So yeah, good number of questions. I need not count how many questions you are solving and all. Clear? And finally, we are looking at this as the last question. This also seemed a very lengthy question. Over a period of time, I've seen students have started ignoring lengthy questions of speed, time, and distance. But trust me, it's a sitter available for batches 1 to 4 weekend. Your prospective score is 42 plus 3 is 45. This question should be converted 1, 2, 4 and weekend. You should have scored a 45 here. Clear. And other batches, I think 27, right? Or 30. Other batches should have been at around 30 or 33. So that's what I told you. Somewhere around minimum score that I'm expecting in this paper is around 30 or 33 marks. Now let's look at this question. A motor race is held in 3 stretches. The maximum speed allowed in stretch P is 80. Stretch Q and R is 65 and R is 30. The minimum speeds allowed are 50, 40 and 15 respectively. Each of the 3 stretches is 4 kilometers long. Okay. The current record for the race is 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Jennifer completes the race at an average speed of 30 kilometers an hour. So total distance is 12. Total distance by total time is equal to average speed. Clear? If our average speed over the stretches P and Q is 300% more than that of R. Clear? So if R is equal to X, 300% more will give me 4X here. And this will also give me 4X here. So time taken for this part of the journey is 4 by 4X. Time taken for this part of the journey is 4 by 4X. And time taken for this part of the journey is 4 by X. So this becomes 1 by X, this becomes 1 by X, and this is 4 by X. So in short, if you simplify, we get 12X divided by 6 is equal to 30. 6 ones are 6 twos are and 2 ones are 2 15s. Therefore, the value of X is equal to 15. So what is the speed in the stretch R? The speed in the stretch R is equal to 15, and that becomes a sitter question for you in this topic. Clear, guys? So this is about this paper, guys. I think, yes, did this paper give you enough scope to score? I think, yes. Even if I'm looking at 3 minutes per question, I think, as I told you, for any bad student or for somebody who's not good at geometry and other areas, you had basic questions. Let's look at excluding geometry. This question should have been solved. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if I'm going on a very conservative side, ignoring all the geometry questions also, okay, ignoring all the geometry questions also, I'm still looking at a score of 24, guys. So according to me, on a very conservative side, your score should definitely not go below 24. Right? And according to me, in this paper, a score of 24 would be somewhere around 80 odd percentile. Clear? And I would be really happy if anybody is able to cross a score of 33 plus. Yeah, 33 plus should be again not even 33 for batches 1 to 4 weekend. I think it should go beyond 36. So batches 1 to 4 in weekend, I don't think so. I should be going anywhere less than 36 in this paper. 12 questions you pick up, convert them, and you should be able to get your answer. So analyze where is the gap lying, go back, resolve those conceptual areas, and then come back stronger for the next mock. In case you have any doubts you want to discuss with me, please most welcome to discuss the doubts with me or discuss the study plan with me, guys. Very important for us to hold the preparation very tight in the last 3 months of our CAT preparation. Thank you, guys. All the best and happy learning.